planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No. Where do you get off?
Just a couple of people who totally got off, bro.
Hey, show us your basement.
What? No.
Welcome to another edition of Show Us Your Basement. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am still find myself here cozy in the back rooms. I'm your host, Alberto, and I am joined with Josh and Eric, and Edgar is in the ether. Go ahead and let them know you're live.
I'm here.
There you go. And tonight's episode is sponsored by a new sponsor. Blue Chew dropped us. I'm sorry, but our link no longer works. They didn't like how we were, promoting the product. So instead, we are now sponsored by Gamefly.com. Yes, they are still around. If you want to rent your video games, go to Gamefly.com/show-us-your-basement. You can rent probably one of the best video games of all time right now. It is called Resident Evil 4 Remake on the PlayStation 5. Yes, that's right. You heard it correctly. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Go to Gamefly.com to get all your remakes. Just go ahead and play them all. Josh, what is your favorite video game remake?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to make a phone call real quick.
Oh.
All right.
Blue Chew, can you take us back? Please. I can't do this Gamefly bullshit.
Oh.
What do I got to do?
Hold on. Josh, tell him to hang up.
What?
Josh, tell him to hang up, please.
You want me to get down on my knees?
No. Hey, this is getting a little...
I'll be right back. Give me
Who was that?
Give me 60 seconds.
That's all it takes? Josh, oh. Well,
That's all it takes.
We lost Josh. He will return in 60 seconds. In those 60 seconds... Oh, wait, no, hold on. He's back. Josh? You okay? What happened?
It won't take us back. Keep going.
All right, I don't want to know the details of what just happened there, but anyways, go ahead and just go to Gamefly.com/show-us-your-basement, and we will be
How
hopefully
about
getting a
just
kickback.
basement? Why do you have to do the whole thing?
That's just the link that they gave us.
Okay.
I don't know. I look, Josh, keep working on the Blue Chew thing. Try to get them to. All right. Well, there he goes again. While Josh is working his magic, we really appreciate you guys listening to us. Go ahead and follow us on our socials. Show Us Your Basement on TikTok, Instagram, and of course on YouTube. We also do another podcast, Poor Man Sports, with me, Josh, and Eric, where we talk about all things sports. All right. Josh, you seem a little stiff there. You okay?
They won't take us back.
Shit. All right. That a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Just like a lot of things in life, it's okay. Anyways, we got plenty of episodes you can go listen to. Show Us Your Basement on YouTube. Really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Tell them why they should subscribe to the channel. Edgar.
We talk about movies, TV shows, a little bit of everything.
You sound like a fucking
what?
Drug dealer at the on the corner of
Ain't that
the
what we're
Las
doing?
Vegas Strip.
Yeah, we're selling.
You're peddling a. You're not peddling a fucking drug. Dude, tell them about the podcast. And
I
the way
just did.
Why are your eyes closed?
What's wrong? No, they're not closed.
Okay. All right. Anyways, tonight's episode is all about remakes. You see the little transition I did there, Edgar, where I talked about Gamefly and I talked about remakes. And did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Great. All right, cool. We're going to talk about remakes, but more specifically movies that didn't deserve the remake treatment, should not deserve the remake treatment, and movies that maybe they should actually be remade. And Look, I can think of a bunch of movies that got remade that shouldn't have. So I'm gonna kick it off. I'm hoping all of us have unfortunately seen this movie because it is an adaptation of a classic.
Let's break it down into the three. So,
Okay.
which section of the three are we doing first?
Let's start with movies that should not have been remade. Because that's the first one I want to kick it off with. Josh, you're disappointed at us when I told you about this. Old Boy was our first exposure. The remake of Old Boy. We did not see the original. We saw the remake with Josh Brolin. This movie should not have been remade for plenty of reasons. But Josh, you love this movie. You think Old Boy is a fantastic film. Did you see the remake?
Of course. I went into it knowing that it was going to be an awful movie, a basement movie. But being a big fan of the original, there's always that curiosity.
Right.
So of course, I didn't see it in the movie theater. You know, I took my time, and when it was available for streaming, because that's the convenience of the world,
Yeah.
I then watched it, and yeah, should have never been touched. Edgar, you're a big fan of foreign movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to say that they don't interpret well transitioning into American film. I don't think that's fair to say. But I think there's a lot of foreign movies out there that shouldn't be redone. It's just made for that style. I don't know if that makes sense. And Old Boy is it's a Japanese manga, I believe,
It is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
and obviously it's a Korean movie. It's a Korean film, and that it just shouldn't be. It's like what's that movie called? Is it Parasite? Is that Korean movie called?
Yeah. Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite. Like that should never be remade into American film.
No, it's a one and done type of.
It's a one and
Yeah.
done. And Old Boy is in that same category too. In my opinion, the ending is so shocking and so brutal. It's probably the most fucked up ending, to the point where you can't do it again.
Yeah.
And it loses the shock
That's
value,
true. Yep.
things like that as well. So it's a combination of foreign film that should be left in the hands of the Koreans, with also the shock value so well done and well executed
Mm-hmm.
that you can't do it again.
Do you agree with that?
No, I agree. The American version is even shorter than the original. I feel like they cut out a lot of about the original. The original ending to that was more impactful than the remake.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't buy fucking Josh or
Yeah.
Brolin's crying, and like when he finds out what
The twist.
the twist.
Yeah.
The I should know his name, man, because he's in every movie basically.
He's in the movie.
He's
Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they not thinking, or were they thinking about making a U.S. remake of I Saw the Devil?
that too.
What are your thoughts on that?
They better not.
They're not touched, right?
No.
Yeah. No, that's a movie I don't think should be remade either. Because I Saw the Devil is, oh my god, that movie is, you got to strap in from like minute one all the way to the end.
Mhm.
Just
Here's my argument. Can they do an Old Boy movie and interpret it to like an American movie and still be successful? I think there's a chance.
it's a low
And the
chance.
reason I think there is a possibility that it could be good. There's a possibility, right? Don't get me wrong, I loved that movie as well. I Saw the Devil. But the thing about Old Boy is that it had such iconic scenes and moments that were so great. The ending, the hallway scene,
Yeah. Yeah.
two examples that we were
Iconic,
just
yeah.
talking about. You can't top that.
No, that yeah.
And there's nothing in, unfortunately, I Saw the Devil that was so iconic that's what I'm saying. Like if you make a scene, it's like one of the greatest scenes, one of the greatest endings. The chances of topping it are just out the window.
That's true. Obviously, I don't think they followed through with this, but they were going to be making a U.S. remake of The Raid as well. Shortly after the Raid came out, I'm so glad that they didn't go through with that. Sort of for the same reasons, because of the style, the stunt coordinators, the like you could see that it was like a labor of love, and I think that's the reason why so many remakes or a lot of movies that are regarded as masterpieces, I don't think can translate into remakes, because you really need that lightning in the bottle kind of like cast and crew that you just didn't get with remakes or with movies nowadays. Eric, I know that you're a fan of the latest Alien movie, Alien Romulus. Am I right? You would say that movie kind of has the DNA of the original Alien film. Do you think a remake of the first Alien could work?
No. I do not. And I'm basing this largely on the state of the Alien franchise and where it's been. I think we could kind of see it with Ridley Scott's projects, his duet of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and how that ended, or how that project went. He's the one who started it, right? When I look at Alien Earth, the way the show is going, I don't think it's necessary. It's not necessary.
Right.
I think this is kind of one of these things, like you just kind of leave it be. Let's just leave it alone, because we see this a lot at times where it's like, why are we doing this? Like, why? Why are we doing this? Are we going to remake Jurassic Park? No. So what do? They just kind of keep remaking sequels. And I think that is a symptom of avoiding making a remake, because you can't. And so I think
that's a good point.
The Alien franchise has sort of entered this territory of, well, we want to give people more, but we were too afraid to start over, right? Which they should be. I just couldn't imagine when if you were to recreate Alien, you're erasing a lot. You're erasing a phenomenal sequel with it. And so, going back to what Josh said the other night, I would have loved the idea of watching Neil Blomkamp's Alien Vision, because it was supposed to be a sequel to the second film, so technically like a third. That would have been necessary. That would have been okay. We're not tampering with anything at this point. Right. We're kind of erasing a bad third movie. I like the third movie, but it's not like a good movie in the grand scheme. Like, it's just not. It doesn't hold up to a lot of casual or interested watchers. So I hope they never remake Alien. I want it to be as old as dirt, ancient, because it reminds us how great it really was when it was fresh,
particularly with like video games, right? I think they benefit a lot from a remake. There's a lot of mechanics that can be outdated, for example, Final Fantasy VII. For a lot of people, they can't get into the old one, so they remade it. That's one reason why they remade it, right? Going back to like Alien, do you think that with technology now, or how far we've gone with practical effects, you don't think that they could like strengthen some of those elements in Alien, Eric? Like, I don't know if they took their time and really gave you a good looking xenomorph with today's practical effects, or do you think that movie's still timeless? Do you think it still holds up, even those elements? Like you can tell the xenomorph is, has to be shot in dark settings, so you don't really see that it's like a animatronic or whatever. You don't think it would be benefited of a remake?
Oh, I think it already has. It just wasn't delivered in a great movie. I think Alien Covenant did a phenomenal job displaying the xenomorph. I think that's my favorite adaptation of the xenomorph that was presented in all of the films. It just was presented in the wrong film. And if you go back, I don't know if have you seen Alien Covenant, Alberto?
I have, yes.
Okay, I think that is the phenomenal. Its power, its size, its intimidation. It almost feels human at times when it's standing and kind of looking around. Like, it gives you that element of, well, it takes the form of what it gestates or whatever, right? And so I think Ridley Scott did deliver it. He just delivered it in the wrong way, in the wrong.
Yeah.
It was too late, So to answer your question, yes, I do. Now let me say one more thing, and I'll let you move on to the next. But if there was one criticism I had with Alien Romulus, it didn't present the xenomorph quite as powerful as Covenant did. I would have liked to have seen a xenomorph like we saw in Covenant presented in Romulus more so. And I'm not saying that the Romulus version was bad. It wasn't. But that one in Covenant was just fierce. It had a fierce presence to it. It embodied everything the xenomorph is.
I agree.
Just pure power, perfect organism. It really was. And it's a shame it was delivered in a film that just didn't make sense. Like the problem with Covenant is it just didn't make sense in the timeline.
That's fair. That's fair. Josh, are there any other movies that you can think of that didn't deserve the remake treatment off the top of your head?
I do have one. Actually, I have three.
Oh,
Karate Kid.
That is actually one.
Wait, what's that?
The Karate Kid, Edgar said.
The Halloween trilogy.
Oh. Is that a remake or is that a requel?
2 and 3 were pretty much a remake. Were they not?
You're talking about the
I would
newest
say-
ones, right?
Yeah.
Kills and Ends?
Right. mainly kills and ends. When I think of requels, the first one were such a well done sequel, and then they just had to kill it.
Oh, look,
They had to explore who Michael Myers was and the town, and they shared too much, and then they tried to be original in the third one, while his soul or something from Michael Myers went into this kid, and this kid is the new Michael Myers, and he could disappear, I guess, without explaining it. Great requel. Then 2 and 3 were just, or I guess technically it's 3 and 4. Were just so bad, unfortunately.
Look, I think I'm beating a dead horse whenever I step in to defend this trilogy. So instead, I'm gonna have Edgar defend it. This is your baby right here. You love Halloween, specifically also this new trilogy. Look, this is Josh's opinion. You don't have to say anything you don't want to, but if you want to put your 2 cents in, go ahead.
I'll just say that I enjoy those that trilogy. It's that's enough said right there.
Oh my god, you sound like someone who's under NDA that can't say anything about their fucking renewal contract.
Yeah.
Like you're a fucking sports athlete that just
Like you said, we're beating a dead horse here.
That's why we're never going to have a crow debate. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh.
I have
But-
one question. I have a quick question. Maybe Josh can help somebody.
Mm.
Why are we? Maybe it's a two-part question.
Okay.
One, what is a requel versus a remake, and why are we so intent on referring to Halloween as a requel? It just feels like a crutch. Like, well, it's not a remake; it's a requel.
Well, I feel like a requel is taking the original film and doing a remake sequel to that original movie.
It's a remake. It's a remake, and they
Well-
and my problem with it is Halloween did it how many times?
Oh, they did it plenty of times, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know.
But-
they did.
I will say this: Scream 5 talked about requels and try to be meta. I think it's also itself a requel.
Not a requel though.
It is
it's
a requel.
continuation of the story. It is not.
It is a requel.
It is not.
I think.
Do your
it's-
research. Actually watch the
Let's,
series.
let me.
Is it a requel or is it a
Hold on.
continuation?
Let them
Continuation.
It's a requel.
Go ahead and Google it.
Google
Other
it.
than
Come on,
that,
Albert, Google it.
Unless you actually watched it, you do not have an opinion. Scream is a legit. Scream 5 is a sequel in the series.
It's not a
They
requel.
bring back every original character, and they even speak about all the original movies as well. They actually talk about the original. In 7 with this new cast. Eric, am I right?
It says
You're
here,
correct.
Go ahead.
Scream 5 is actually both. The film's characters refer to it as a requel. It is a direct sequel set in the same timeline as the previous movies, but also serves as a soft reboot. So it is still technically a requel.
Not. Watch it.
It's what
Watch it.
It's what
We
Google
did watch
said.
it.
Watch it.
I did see it.
All right.
No, you didn't.
I did see it.
Watch the series. Watch the entire series,
No,
and then come back
No.
and tell me if it's actually requel.
I'm not gonna watch
The
that.
thing is they in the Halloween trilogy, they changed what's her face.
Well,
They
Josh,
gave her long hair. They made her paranoid.
Josh.
She ended up having a daughter.
Josh. The thing is actually a good remake. Let's talk about that.
Oh.
Is it a remake or is it a prequel?
Okay.
I don't think
What's
it is
this?
I don't think it. I
Did
think.
you say it's a
I don't
prequel?
think it's a prequel.
Yeah, I think
The Thing?
I think he's talking about the 2000. And,
Oh,
I'm talking about the actual the thing. It's a
The
remake.
yeah.
of-
original.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Because I
Black
want to
and
move
white.
on from the Halloween Scream thing. I think every time we bring up Scream and Halloween, we all get heated for some reason. But
That is probably the greatest remake of all time, in my opinion.
I have to agree. The Thing is a masterpiece. It is a movie that transcends time. Its practical effects still hold up. The story is so well done. Like the mystery behind who is the Thing. Great performances all around. Great fucking soundtrack. It is one of the best horror movies of all time. I mean, you can't deny it. When we talk about movies that needed to be remade, I would actually think that you wouldn't think that The Thing needed to be remade. But here we are. We had a remake from John Carpenter. I don't even think it follows the same type of plot, right? Like it's its own sort of thing,
yeah, it's
isn't
his
it?
own thing. Yep.
So, like John Carpenter did what Johnny Cash did with Hurt. Like he made it his own. It was technically like a thing before, no pun intended.
9 Inch Nails.
You know, with 9 Inch Nails, and somehow when
Trent Reznor.
yeah, Trent Reznor was like, it's not mine anymore. It belongs to Johnny Cash, and I think the same thing can be said with you don't agree, Eric? Do you think?
That is Trent Reznor's. I don't care what he says.
Okay.
That came out in '93 on the Downward Spiral. Come on.
Okay. You like that? Not to get off on a side tangent. You like that more than Johnny Cash's version?
Yeah. It's deeper. It's got more
brutal.
emotion. It's more intimate.
All right.
It's a very different. His version was what it was written to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it was written. I mean, if you go back and listen to it, it's just such a different tone.
Yeah.
It's so.
I mean, it is good. They're both good.
Personal. It is probably his greatest work, and I appreciate his taking the high road and not being selfish. You know, just saying, "Hey, fine, it's Johnny Cash," but it's not.
That's interesting.
I think when he did it too, a lot of things were kind of in Johnny Cash's favor as well during the time and stuff like that. So
that's true. That is true. Edgar, do you have any?
Yeah.
Go ahead. That didn't need to be remade, or should we move on to?
No, that should not be remade.
All right, go ahead.
Josh brought it up. It's going to be one day, hopefully, a fucking debate, because I'm locked in for this. It's The Crow. It should never be remade.
But it did.
And yeah, look what happened. It bombed. It was barely talked about. Eric's the only one who saw it.
I feel bad for Eric for watching. I don't.
Like you were just saying, the 1994, it was just lightning in a bottle. It just worked. And it created a genre of its own genre where other movies try to capture.
Yeah.
This dark noir feel, and we got to thank The Crow for that subgenre.
Batman did it first, but okay.
Did it? Which one came out first?
89, the Batman.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
But like with I don't know. It seems like no one can capture or nail what the 94 did or make it its own.
Mm.
They always have to go back to what the 94 did. Capture it, and then it doesn't seem to work.
So you don't like the sequel either?
What, the City of Angels?
Yeah. You like the soundtrack though, don't you?
The soundtrack is cool, but even the sequels, all of it, it should have just left alone with Brandon Lee, and
look, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
This might spark some outrage depending on what your answer is, and that's fine. The Evil Dead, 2013 remake, or I guess you could call it its own thing. I don't know, maybe, but a lot of people tend to call it like a reboot, remake.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better than the original?
Original, yes, but not the sequel.
It's better than the original Evil Dead?
That one, if you look at it, for some reason, that movie is outdated. It really is. For what it did, and now, it just doesn't hold up anymore.
Wow.
I consider Evil Dead 2 that one should have been that one still to this day.
Technically, Evil Dead 2 is a remake.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a remake. That's the first requel right there.
There you go. See, and that one holds up for some reason. But the original for me, it's just, that's my opinion. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't capture what the Evil Dead 2 did. Moving forward.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one.
The original.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Josh, I saw you kind of shaking your head at that. A little apprehensive about that statement.
Because fucking Josh is all over Sam Raimi's.
Whoa. He hasn't even spoken yet. All right, calm down. Josh, I'm assuming you disagree.
If you're gonna say that Evil Dead is outdated, then you might as well say the thing is outdated. People have said that too.
Edgar's shaking his head in disbelief.
Yeah, that's two different subgenres.
Is it? Is it?
They're horror. They're both practical effects.
Body horror.
One's more independent than the other, so it is expected to be outdated. And also, if you actually see the history of Evil Dead 1 and 2, the reason why they had to, quote unquote, they were actually forced to actually make it into a requel because when they made the sequel, they actually couldn't touch the original Evil Dead movie. So they kind of actually had to do a reintroduction in the first Evil Dead part of it that came off as a sequel. But if you actually watch Sam Raimi's and Bruce Campbell's interview about that movie, they're like, if you actually watch, if you go from the ending back to back from Evil Dead 1 and how it ends up until like the introduction to Evil Dead 2, the first like 5-10 minutes, it actually connects. So it's technically, they don't consider it so much of a requel. So they try to actually like play it because, so it can fit.
But as it pertains to the remake versus the original, Josh, do you disagree with that statement? I'm assuming.
I disagree with it 100% because I didn't have buy-in with the characters. They weren't memorable. They were just one-offs that just kept going. You didn't know who the main character was, and it ended up being this girl. It had elements of Evil Dead, which I appreciated. And don't get me wrong, I liked the remake. I don't want to disregard it. But to say that it was superior than the original, I'm going to have to totally disagree with that. You know, Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, they have heart, and you can see it in the original. And the Evil Dead remake was missing something, unfortunately. They just had Evil Dead elements in it. And that was it. And they were missing Ash, I would say, was the heart and soul of the original Evil Dead movies.
Eric, I did not see you swerve off the road with that statement, but it seems like you're thinking, you're absorbing what Edgar had to say about that. Do you agree? Or I'm assuming you also disagree. You think the original is better than the remake?
I mean, I appreciate that Edgar's taking a stand, honestly. He should, and I don't think he should budge on this. Mm-hmm. But when I think about the Evil Dead, the original, and Josh just kind of pointed it out, because I saw it when I was very young, okay? And it left like an imprint in my mind of truly like iconic horror. Just this wild practical effects and costume design and just creepy weirdness. I think when I think about Evil Dead, the original, things that stand out to me, we talk about like liminal spaces, right? It was such a eerie movie with like just this fog in the forest and the darkness. You can't really see anything outside. It's just kind of like you see like a little bit of light coming through the forest of the moonlight, and just things like that. The way it was captured was just horror at its peak, I think, for its time. And it was missing that ingredient with Bruce Campbell, Ash. Like, he was a massive part of that and such an iconic character. And he just embodied that element around him as kind of like the sole survivor trying to navigate through this wild, crazy, demonic presence that's going on in this movie. And so I think it's really hard to say that it's dated. I don't know if I agree. I still look back at that movie and I feel like, man, they knew what they were doing. They knew how to pioneer a way to horror that has never been seen before when it originally came out, and it still holds to that. I don't think you see there's not enough horror movies nowadays that capture that. I think that's a lost art, and it's hard to recapture. I don't think it's even anything. It's not even an indictment on the remake. I think it's just hard to capture anything like that. And I think that's why we spoke so highly about the Backrooms, because it was just a different take. It's just we're moving into a different era of horror that we need, So,
Yeah.
Again, the remake was very good. Like after watching it, I said, okay, I see where he's coming from, Edgar, when he speaks highly of this movie. I can see it, but it does feel like it's kind of missing. There's something missing about it, and I don't think it's because the movie isn't good. I think it's because it just didn't capture what the original one presented, which was just something very unique. And that can be, I don't know. I don't think it's singled out to the remake necessarily. I think you could look at many horror movies and say that.
Right. No, I mean, I have to agree. I think the original still holds up. It's still fantastic. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but it's like lightning in a bottle type of situation where the movie just, the way that it was made, with the people involved, with the effects and the budget and everything, like it just, you can't remake that, right? That's just something that can only have been done in the time period that it was done in. So I definitely agree. Although I do appreciate your kind of standing on business about the Evil Dead remake.
How many years has it been, Edgar? Since your top 5?
Oh, it's been like
2 years?
almost 3 years now at this point.
3 years?
3 years.
Keep holding strong, man. Keep holding strong.
Another, Josh, so earlier you were talking about foreign movies that just can't translate well as remakes. There is one that I think has a case to be made. In Internal Affairs, aka The Departed, by Martin Scorsese, a remake of a foreign film. Would you agree that that's actually one that translated well? That it is a good remake?
Yeah, that's why I actually made the comment earlier that I don't want to say that it's because it doesn't translate well.
Okay, gotcha.
But they were able to take that movie and they were to actually put it in like, they were able to put it in Boston with all the things that are going in Boston, with the gangs and things like that. And I watched Departed first, and I watched the original. I was curious, again, that curiosity. And I think what separates The Departed is I did feel like it was not the same movie. It had elements of it. But they were just so different, if my memory serves me right, Yeah. And I think that's what kind of made it, I guess, acceptable. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I can see
So, and of course you have Martin Scorsese, who's a great storyteller as well. And then on top of it, you had just a leading cast of A-list actors in every scene, just carrying the weight of the movie. So, that to me, definitely, to your point, translated well, adapted really well in the U.S.
All right. Edgar, is there any other movies that you... Well, Dread is one. Dread remake of the original with Sylvester Stallone with Carl Urban. Would you consider that a good remake? Or is that more of like a reboot?
That's more like a reboot, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with, I guess, Sylvester Stallone's movie or anything.
Okay.
I think this one follows more of the comic book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other movies that you can think of then? Before we move on to movies that should be remade, before we get into that, do you have any other ones? You mentioned The Crow.
That are good.
Or just that shouldn't have been remade. Well, either or, I think, before we move. Because I think there's plenty, like, There's an argument to be made where a lot of people say the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is better than the original. Some people grew up on that one. Some people watch that one and think it's better than the original. What do you think? Dawn of the Dead?
Damn.
Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Does that outdo the original?
Fuck. You damn, are you pulling good ones out here?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Edgar, are you a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003?
Yeah. That one's pretty good.
When was the last time you seen it, though?
A long time ago, though. Yeah.
From what you can remember, do you think it's...
I think I seen it a couple years during the pandemic. I think when it was like streaming.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I seen it then. To me, I think it was pretty good adaptation. That one I didn't feel like nothing was like wrong with it. You know, they added more to the Leatherface character.
I think with the 2003 remake, because I agree. I think, well, look, this may be controversial. I don't know. I think that version of Leatherface is way more terrifying than the original. I think his mask, the way he looks, the way he moves, his size, he's much more intimidating, you know. But the thing that about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, the 2003 remake, that's missing is realism. That original, there's something about the original that just gets under your skin because you feel like, does this shit actually like happening to these people? Mm-hmm. Like, there was a surrealness to that original that I don't think has ever been able to be captured with every sequel that came out. And I think they went down a good route with the 2003 remake where they were like, well, if we can't capture the realism, let's just make it, let's strengthen the scare factor. Let's make Leatherface really more intimidating. Let's make the actual chainsaw feel much more like, you know.
With this one, you know what I mean? Yeah, but this one, like even the original, I'm not like shitting on it. Like with the sequel that's 2003, I still consider the original even like scary to this day. Yeah. You know, the audio in that fucking film is just.
Did it not give us the first final girl?
Damn, who knows, right? I know you were probably right.
Eric,
yeah,
or Josh, am I right?
I think she could have been the first final. No, wait, no, yeah. No,
because did this come out first or did Alien come out first?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I believe, was 1974.
Okay. Yeah, so that one came out first.
So did that give us the first final girl? Probably.
One of
no Black.
Okay. Well, would this be the first popular final girl? They gave us that iconic, like, image of.
Actually, there was two at the same time.
Oh,
Black
really?
Christmas and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They came out the same year. So
damn,
you're not wrong. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, the 2000s get a lot of remakes. Because we also have Friday the 13th.
See with that one, I feel because that one and the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my god!
Fucking what's his face was the producer on it, and I think what he did is like, I'm going to capture what I did with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and do with with this one.
Failed.
Yeah.
Miserably.
They tried to do, like you were just saying, they made Leatherface much more intimidating, much like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that with Jason in this one. It's like, no, he was fine how he was. Yeah. You know, like.
No, I agree.
So.
Because then you also had Halloween, right? Rob Zombie's Halloween, which gave us the fucking behemoth looking Michael Myers that, like, stood at 8 feet tall or whatever. Like. I think they relied too much on let's make these fucking slashers look tall and
menacing.
like fucking brick houses.
Yeah.
Like they just can't be. And I think it wore out the luster of that after Leatherface, because Leatherface was like he was big, but he was also like fucking burly. Like that motherfucker was like a tank.
Well, fucking linebacker, dude.
Exactly. And then Jason's out here like running fucking full sprint, and it's like I just don't buy that, you know. Mm-hmm. And then the opposite happened with Freddy Krueger. They made him tinier, and he's no longer cracking jokes and shit. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck happened with the 2000s and these like horror remakes.
Yeah,
you know, The Omen came out also.
Yeah, they should have left it. Yeah,
they should have left that one alone.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of those movies, but well, let's move on to films. Maybe that should get a remake.
They should.
Yeah, and I have one.
Oh, okay.
This could be a controversial take, because I know that this is one that's near and dear to Eric's heart.
Oh.
But after seeing Backrooms, what if they remade the Blair Witch Project? I think it could benefit from a remake.
You're saying this because he announced it?
No, because that's a sequel. I'm talking about a remake.
Ooh.
A remake of the original Blair Witch.
So they are doing a remake, and it's coming out next year.
Okay, so I guess it is a remake. I thought it was a sequel, but I guess it's a remake. I think it could benefit from a remake.
See, that's a tough one because the original has this aesthetic to it. Like it has to be VHS, like not modern.
It can be done. Backrooms has shown that it can be done. It can be done.
Because that one, like,
I mean, look, there's something to be said about the initial, like Josh was saying with Old Boy, that shock factor can't be recaptured. I don't think you can do that with Blair Witch. You can't bank on this being like, oh, guys, this is a real story. Like, this is actually inspired, but you can't do that. In this day and age, you can't do that. But can you recapture that same feeling? Eric, what do you think?
I think it's very difficult, and I would be worried about a Blair Witch Project remake. And it's not to say that it can't be done. Edgar just mentioned something that was kind of on my mind as you were saying it. Mm-hmm. It's that VHS feel. Because it was made in a time where VHS was still alive.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right? It was still alive. And because it paved such a crazy path for horror, a new breed of horror, literally new DNA template. I've said it before. Don't need to go down that trail again.
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker.
I think what was so captivating about the Blair Witch Project was that it left you with such an open mind for interpretation of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you make a film where you never see the antagonist or even know if it's there. You don't know if this is like, is it a person? Is it an entity? Is it just some kind of
Are they losing
presence
their minds or something?
Just, we don't know if it's an energy that's out there. We don't know, right? And I think that's what made it so riveting.
Yep.
I don't know about a remake. I would be very interested in watching a remake. So it's one of these weird situations where I'm not against it, but I'd be very concerned if it's going to stick the landing. Are they going to be able to deliver it in such a way that leaves you feeling very uncomfortable, a little bit awkward, jarring, as you say sometimes. It could benefit, but I don't know. I really don't know. This feels like one of these movies. It's not outdated. because of the way it was made.
Yeah.
It didn't need to use special effects. It wasn't necessary. It was all practical. It was just, remember, the budget was $60,000 and it made $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Think about the returns on that, right? So I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to say it can't be done. Shouldn't say that. Could it benefit? Sure. I think it needs to be left alone, but it sounds like it's not. So
it's a tough task.
It's a tough task. This is a very tough task. I don't have much to say. It's this feels like something like, let's just not touch it. Hold on. That's the thing about the found footage is there's a lot of room for creativity with these. Okay, the VHS anthologies, particularly the first and the second one, proved this to me. They proved that yes, you can make a film like this with this found footage and have it be feeling very old and clunky kind of.
Yeah.
And you can still deliver an amazing product without having to try to recreate what was already done, what started it, the origins of it. So I am going to say I'm very doubtful, but
I mean,
I'm open
that's fair.
to being proven wrong.
Josh, does anything spring to your mind in terms of a movie that does deserve a remake?
Street Fighter.
We're getting it, baby. Oh yeah. Can't wait for that one. I had one top of mind and I kind of forgot.
Let me ask you one while you're thinking.
Yeah, please.
Do you think that Jaws should be remade?
Oh, damn.
No.
Okay.
I think for its time and what it did, again, it's a movie that just was executed so well. I don't think you can imitate that, fortunately. And I think they tried, not actual Jaws remakes, but like they had to do the Meg.
Right. Yep.
They had to do something bigger.
See, yeah,
that's true.
To fit in modern and obviously it's not a remake, but like in order for it to make sense, they had to do something like that. I felt like, it's a movie that just should be untouched. I think timing is everything.
That's true.
Coming out in the years that it came out, with the practical effects that it did, and how limited we were, right? Like being stranded in the ocean without nobody had cell phones at that time, obviously, so you felt that relatedness, to be stranded at sea and you're relying on a radio, and then there's this killer shark that's out there and you don't know what it's capable of, you can't. And even if they did do a remake and it's set in the same year, you're not going to have that same feeling, in my opinion. So
throwing a curveball, what if it was Steven Spielberg that directed it?
Oh, damn.
He's not an idiot. He's the GOAT.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
There are endless shark movies, and I think it has just been outplayed. There is one shark movie that I watched that I thought was the closest thing you could get to Jaws.
Sharknado.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm having a hard time remembering the name of it because
Deep
there's so
Blue
many.
Sea, starring LL Cool J.
Oh,
but it was the one with the girl, and she was like a surfer.
Open Water.
That came recently.
Wasn't
if it was
no, not Open
Wasn't
Water.
it, wasn't it like 100 meters or something like that?
no, it was
No, it's not Open Water.
it was not. It was, oh my gosh, there's so many shark movies. No, this was a movie about a girl who went to go.
Yeah, I know what you. Yeah.
She went down south and
It's like recent. This is a recent movie too, right?
she went down south
Look it up,
and
Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, Jamie.
yeah, I can't find it. It was very well done, and I think it's the closest thing.
It's about shark movies.
Yep.
I think it was the closest thing we could get to a Jaws film. Because she had no way to really defend herself, right? Oh gosh, I don't remember what it was called.
There's a lot of fucking Sharknadoes, I'll tell you that.
I this is gonna drive me crazy because it was.
Yeah, we're just looking it up right now.
I'm looking it up. Let's see.
So good.
Open water.
This was like around
reef.
12, 13,
The
14.
Shallows.
The Shallows. I believe it was The Shallows. That is going to be
Okay.
to me, that's the closest thing we've gotten to a Jaws-like movie that was done
26.
really well. Yep, The Shallows. Great movie. Great shark movie.
That was a great movie. Yeah.
That's probably the closest thing I can think of to a movie that could come. It's not Jaws, but it's the closest thing you can get to a Jaws movie. It was phenomenal for that type of movie.
Circling back to you,
But to
Josh.
Josh's point, they made, a Meg. Like, there's a million of these shark movies, so I don't think a remake of Jaws would work because it's just so oversaturated.
Do you have any now that come to mind for movies that should
I do.
be?
I do, and I think this to me goes into the category that did not age well for the time that it came out. And I actually loved this movie when it came out, and I thought it was acted really well.
Please don't say so. Please don't say so.
Saw 6, man.
Oh, damn. It's a perfect movie. It shouldn't be remade at all, man. No, sorry.
Will Smith's I Am Legend needs to be remade. For one specific reason, because it was acted so well, and the idea of being alone for a majority of the movie, and then the relationship with the dog was so great. But unfortunately, they when they started showing the zombies, vampires, whatever they were, just
fell apart.
Killed the movie just because the CGI is so bad.
Have to agree.
So bad.
Have to agree.
And it wasn't. They weren't terrifying. You couldn't take them serious, unfortunately. And that movie needs to be a remake. It doesn't need a. I know there's talks of a sequel to it, which makes no sense, which is even just dumb in my opinion. But that needs a remake. In my opinion, a reboot, whatever you want to call it. So,
I agree. Edgar, do you have any movies that come to mind that should be remade? Don't say Halloween again. But we shouldn't be remaking Halloween.
They
are making a remake of Halloween again. They just announced it.
A new timeline.
This is just because now that we're like in this century and everything, it'd be cool to see their adaptation of what going back to the future is.
Don't say Back to the
Future. Yeah, Back to the Future. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't mind.
Is that a serious?
Yeah.
You saying Back to the Future should be remade?
Like that's what I'm saying. No, like just to see like what version of going Back to the Future is, in this timeline of ours. This
like
century.
What's the future gonna look like in 2080?
No, Albert. Jesus Christ. Let's say let's say they make it now.
Okay.
And they go back to the 90s. That's what I'm saying. Like, what version of going Back to the Future would it be? Is it the 90s, early 90s, late 80s? Just like that's just to be cool to see. I know it's like that movie to me. I agree with Josh. It shouldn't be touched, but like just curiosity. Like, what would it be?
That's an interesting choice for a remake, Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm. They can go way back, right? They can go to the Western times, like what they did, right? One of the movies, but like that's what I'm just saying. They're just curious to see. You know.
I know Josh isn't going to agree with that. I think that he thinks that's probably the perfect trilogy, or one of the perfect trilogies. Eric, does anything come to mind? Is there a movie that's outdated that you feel should be remade?
One does come to mind.
Hellraiser.
And I don't necessarily think it needs to be remade because I thought that the original was terrible, but the original had some flaws. Was well acted, but not greatly acted. I think Event Horizon could be something that could be revisited by the right writer and director.
Good one.
I think the task that would be challenging for them to do a remake would be to capture the visual terror, the visual effects of, you know, the I don't know how to explain this, like the mutilation and how it you know what I mean, like the crazy wacky shit that was going on, the goriness, essentially. That's where I think they would have a very tall task, because they would need to recapture how that looked. I think that would be something that could use a refresh, because it was not successful when it came out originally, but it has evolved into this, man, remember that great horror movie Event Horizon? And there's a lot of people now in the horror watching community that agree that it is just this classic gem. It is a cult classic. I do think it could be remade with a little better casting, some better acting. Like there's some CGI in the original that doesn't look very good, but then they have a lot of practical effects that look very good. And that's what I'm getting at, is the practical side was done very well. And it was terrifying. That cosmic horror is something of a very different taste. You can just feel it when you're watching it. It is just, it presents itself differently when done right.
Yep.
So I think that Event Horizon, it's due for something. How that looks, I don't know.
That's a really good pull, Event Horizon. I think that could be a good remake, sequel, whatever. Like, you're right. I think it's in service of to be brought back into the spotlight. I think Event Horizon is a good choice. You know, for me, one movie sticks out in mind. I think it's outdated in every sense. I seen this movie, didn't really jive with it. I was kind of just like, I don't know, man, this doesn't really work for me. But I think it could work now if they remade it. The Matrix, I think. I'm just kidding. It's not The Matrix. That should not be remade. I knew I was trying to get a reaction. No, look, I don't know, man. This is a tough one, because any movie I do say, I don't think can be remade. One that comes to mind. All right, you guys are gonna fucking. Can you predict what I'm gonna say, Josh?
Dude, if you say so, I'm gonna fucking throw this mic right in your fucking head.
Please do, and use the hard part.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Saw. Okay.
Shut up.
You don't think a Saw remake
No.
can be
All right, you ready?
ready for one? What are you gonna do to me?
You better be joking, dude.
Hey, we're kind of already on that road with James Wan.
Here's the
got
thing,
the right
Alberto. Here's the thing. Can you replace Jigsaw, Dub and Bill?
There you go.
Fuck, no, you can't.
Did you really replace him?
No, you can't.
You know, as oversaturated as it was as a series, and it was a cash grab, and as terrible as they got.
Okay. Don't have to rub it in.
And as they got worse, and
Okay.
he is not replaceable, unfortunately. You know,
That's good.
He's just such an iconic character. From how he acted, his voice, like that's what killed the series too. You can say once they killed Jigsaw in the third movie, it all went south. Did it not?
Yeah. And I love it still. I still love it.
All right, were you joking, or are you gonna pull something?
What?
Saw.
No. I mean, look, I just knew that was where we were gonna go. I know you guys were thinking that I was gonna say Saw, so I just put it out there. I just.
Okay, look, going back to the Back to the Future real quick.
Okay, all right.
No, hold on. The same thing people said about fucking Ghostbusters, right?
Uh-huh.
And this guy who fucking did these new ones that came out,
Yeah.
they weren't that bad. And
Well, the second one wasn't good.
But I'm just saying, if it follows that same formula that the first one did, not the sequel, with like a family member and whatever,
yeah,
I think it can work. People were for years where people were speculating that movie's not going to be great, and it did pretty good for
That was good. Yeah, but it was though also a continuation, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, and that I appreciate more than remaking it. I would say in a lot of these movies, you know, if it's such a gem, but then you have the chance of also tainting it a little bit too. I guess it's a tough one. But I agree with that. That's definitely how you do it.
Terminator?
Okay, that would be cool to see.
Terminator?
Because the first one is like horror.
What if they stuck with horror throughout?
That's what I'm saying. It'd be cool to see a remake of it. That's a good one. That's a good pull.
So they technically did remake Terminator. It's called Genesis.
Oh,
It was PG-13, and it belongs in the film.
So why did you watch it, and how do you know?
All right, I retract my statement, and instead I say remake Jurassic Park and make it more in line with the horror movie, the horror how it's supposed to be a book.
Eric, I'll let you talk about this one.
What?
No, because isn't it true that Jurassic Park technically is more like a horror novel?
Yeah.
Could you not say that we could remake it and actually follow closely to the novel, Eric?
Ooh. I don't think you can do it.
Dang.
And again, this is we're talking about one of the greater films ever made, and it is based on a book, and it's not entirely accurate to the book in terms of the horror element. I think the book was far more it had more horror elements in the book, the way it was written and described in the events. But being that it was a dinosaur movie, you make it too closely to the book, you're not going to capitalize on the toy line revenue and the children and things of that nature, right? You're just not going to.
All right, that's fair.
It would be very interesting to see a more book accurate version of it, though, for sure, and have it be a little more on the dark side, more of a rated R level of film. Because I think the book, it's far more of a rated R feel. Reading the book, I think this is a road you don't travel down. I just don't think you do it, and a lot of it is to do with who made the movie. Right?
Yeah.
You're going up against Steven Spielberg at this point, and instead of trying to challenge Steven Spielberg, they're like, well, we'll continue it. We'll do this continuation, and we're going to keep doing the continuation, and it has just degraded in quality as we've gone. So I have no reason to believe that someone is all of a sudden going to flip a switch and just deliver this great product, unless you go way off the beaten path and find a director. Right? Again, I always think of someone like Neil Blomkamp. You got to go to a guy like that to spark a little controversy and a little fire under something. Not saying it will be good, but I could see him doing something wild and maybe delivering that. I still don't think you travel down that road.
God, this is a tough one, but we can sit here and talk about remakes all night and
all day.
Movies that should be remade. What
I have one more question for you guys. If that's okay.
All right, yeah. Send us
Drag
off
this
this
out
question.
for another 5-10 minutes, though.
What
How about movies that have not had the remake treatment, that don't deserve a remake?
Like, what do you mean? Because I feel like isn't that what we were just talking about?
No, movies that have not gotten a remake. That should never get a remake.
Oh, I see
Like
what you're saying.
Back to the Future,
Gotcha.
for example.
Okay. Yeah,
we won't talk about that because that's too easy of a topic.
Shaun of the Dead.
Are there movies? Boom. Agree.
Titanic.
Fucking remake.
Huge.
What? Yeah, but that's true. Titanic.
Yeah,
Shit.
you
You can't
fuckhead.
touch it. That's actually a good one.
That is true, though.
You can't touch the Titanic.
Cabrón.
John Wick. No, that is technically Man from Nowhere.
Too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
for that.
Never mind.
You're saying untouchable movies?
That
Yep.
should not be
Untouchable
remade.
movies that should never be remade, and haven't even gotten the remake as well.
Oh, Saw.
Scarface.
Scarfaces. Yeah.
Good one. And I see them doing that, unfortunately.
The
That
Godfather.
one.
Didn't they try?
Godfather. I think so. I think they did, and it hasn't been
It
executed.
never got off the ground. It got scrapped. Something happened to it.
Pulp
I have one for
Fiction.
you guys. Pulp Fiction. That's huge. Have you guys ever seen Clive Barker's Nightbreed?
I didn't. I have not.
Eric?
There is a remake of that.
No, there is not.
I thought there was. Maybe I'm. You know what? I think I'm thinking of something else.
Nightman Cometh.
It's not Nightbreed, Josh. I think you might be right. It's
There's not.
there was a remake of something else that I'm confusing it with. I'm sorry.
Are you thinking about Hellraiser?
No, I'm thinking about the one that they had with Colin Farrell. He was in a remake of something. Oh, Fright Night or
Yeah.
Fright Night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fright Night. I'm sorry. I'm getting it confused.
If you have not seen Nightbreed, you guys should.
Nightbreed.
It's one of those movies that kind of got lost and forgotten because it didn't really do well. And then I think in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, they finally they released it. It was kind of like the whole situation with Barbarian. Couldn't find it on,
Gotcha.
anywhere. But he finally released it. It has like a huge cult following. It bombed in the box office. But if you're a fan of body horror, it's a movie that should never be touched as well. And my recommendation to you guys, if you can find this movie, if you can watch it, Clive Barker's Nightbreed. It is a very interesting movie, and you'll actually appreciate it for its time. It came out in 1990.
All right. Okay. That's interesting. All right. That's one that should not be remade. I mean, I said, like, most Quentin Tarantino filmography just can't be remade.
You can't remake Quentin Tarantino.
You can't. You can't. You just can't.
You can't do
Yeah, it has that type of formula.
You can't do it.
Yeah,
I would agree. Kevin Smith's kind of the same way. You
Same
can't,
thing.
regardless if you think his movies are good or bad, you really can't remake those. They're so unique in the way they're written.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, the way they're written. Yeah.
Yep. Indiana Jones, another one. I don't think can be remade.
But they
keep making sequels, but not remade it.
Hate those sequels.
Yeah, I mean, the sequels are kind of the example. The sequels should have never been made, and they should have just tried to reboot it instead. You know what I mean?
You think so?
No, I'm saying they would have been better served to try to reboot it instead of continuing it. I'm not saying it would have been a good idea or been successful, but you might as well have tried to just redo it. I don't think it would work, and I don't think you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But it would have been better served to at least try. I would have rather have seen an attempt to start over with a new Indiana Jones face. I don't know who that would be. No idea. But
Chris Pratt.
Maybe. I think he kind of fits the profile, but I think he's too big now. I think you go with maybe somebody.
Don't say Tom Holland.
No, you got to go with somebody that does have some grit. They have a little grit, a little more toughness to them. I don't know who that would.
Chalamet.
No.
He's badass in Dune. I don't know, man.
I don't see him as an Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know who would be irreplaceable, or someone who can fill those shoes? Tobin Bell, my friend.
No, shut up.
That is the twist of this episode. Is Tobin Bell is Indiana Jones?
Hold on. Another movie that shouldn't touch is Rumble in the Bronx. Jackie Chan.
Such a classic.
Yeah. You pulled that one out. That was actually not bad. That's a good one. Yeah. Look, the point here is movies should stay preserved as the masterpieces that they are. They should not be remade. Some unfortunately have, such as Old Boy and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then there's some that actually do deserve that remake treatment. And we want to hear your thoughts on what those movies are. What'd you say, Josh?
No, like Dredd needed a reboot.
Yep.
A remake.
Yep. So please let us know. Do you agree with our takes? What do you think? What are movies you think should be remade that shouldn't be remade? And Eric, as always, please send us off.
Well, I got nothing to say except go Birds.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
Go Birds.